Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. How's everyone's week going? My week actually is going pretty well. Pretty easy week today. The professor I work with called in sick again, so hopefully he's okay. But so I didn't have work today. So I was editing videos today and things like that. Hi, Bob. How are you? How's your week going? I was editing videos today and things like that, but I didn't actually have to go into work, so that was nice. A nice break, I suppose. Um, so yeah, that's how my Wednesday's going so far. Right here, I'll show you what I have right here. I'm ready for lunch. I don't have the soda bread because that's actually, I think there's one more piece left, but my husband is going to eat that when he gets home. So we almost finished that. If you want to know more about the soda bread, we streamed making soda bread on Saturday. And I also have a short video on YouTube and a recipe on my blog for the Irish soda bread if you're interested in the Irish soda bread. But here, I didn't stream this, but I have my whole wheat bread. Bob asked if I eat eggs as a vegan. I don't eat eggs. I don't eat any animal products, so eggs I don't eat. But here I have my whole wheat bread that I made. When did I make this? I think I made this on Friday. Yes, Friday. So that means it's been 5 days and it's still good. So sourdough is just amazing. It lasts a really long time. I did toast it, so it probably wouldn't taste good like plain by itself without toasting it. But it does taste good toasted, and it's really nice and soft still. And then I have a plate of beans. So we're gonna do beans on toast, which is actually something that I eat quite often. I not really the British type of beans on toast. I don't know if I've ever had that, but it is inspired by the British beans and toast. So I just make any different types of beans and I'll put it on toast. Basically, it's like eating beans and rice or rice and beans, but with toast instead. So here I have, they're brown chickpeas. If you want to, recreate this, I don't have a recipe for it because I just kind of throw everything in the pot. But if you want to recreate this, you can use regular chickpeas. But these are brown chickpeas, which you can find in a South Asian grocery store. Like I said, D-Mart sponsor me. So I really like them. They are they are a little chewier than regular chickpeas, but they're really good. Bob said the pizza he made didn't taste good because he used baking soda, because he did not heed my warning. I told him to use yeast for pizza. Yes, but now he knows. You should use yeast for pizza, or you can use sourdough, which is yeast. It's natural yeast. But last week on Saturday, we were talking about the difference between baking with yeast or sourdough and baking with baking soda and baking powder. And there is a difference, and the outcome is going to be different. Soda bread is made, it's called soda bread because it's made with baking soda. And we saw the difference last week of how the breads came out. I showed you like an example of a bread I made with sourdough, a whole wheat one. It was this one actually with sourdough. And I showed you with the baking soda, which is the soda bread. And they're both really good, but they're very different outcomes. So with pizza, I would use yeast. But Bob experimented for us, so now we know. Now we don't have to try it ourselves because Bob tried it. But yes, so it's brown chickpeas, and you see the greens are collard greens. And then I made a quick, spicy, lemony peanut sauce because, I'm the peanut queen. If I'm not eating, last week I didn't eat peanut butter on stream, and that was weird. That was a weird week. I ate crab cakes. Who does that? There was no peanut butter in it. Anyway, usually there's peanut butter in something that I'm eating. So it's beans, chickpeas, brown chickpeas, collard greens, and a spicy lemony peanut sauce. And I have whole wheat bread. So I already know what it tastes like because I make this fairly often. But let's try some. See, it's creamy. It's from, of course, the peanut butter. But it's got those greens for #health. I'm sure British beans on toast is good, but this one is spicy. Oh, I don't know. Zalo said for a quick pizza, try using matzah. It's fantastic. Bob is from Finland, and I don't know if they have matzah there, but they do have like flatbreads, I'm sure. So matzah is just a flatbread. It's an unleavened flatbread, and you can literally just put it in the toaster oven with sauce and cheese, and it'll become, it's not a pizza, right? But it's really good. It tastes like pizza, but of course the crust is literally, it's like a cracker. Your crust is a cracker, but it is really good. Yeah, Bob hasn't heard of matzah. It's a flat bread, kind of more like a cracker than a flatbread. That's I'd say like a ceremonial food for Passover, for Jewish people when they celebrate Passover. So it might be not as common in Finland. But if you have another type of flatbread, you can use that too. It's good. It's spicy, it's lemony, it's chewy from the chickpeas. The bread's delicious. I'm going to need to wipe my face when I'm done though. I forgot to bring a napkin again. But speaking of matzah, Passover's coming up soon. I don't know what it is, but it's coming up soon. Is anyone doing anything for the holidays? Easter's coming up. Passover's coming up. I think Ramadan might have already started. It's just spring holidays right now. I might try to make those, although no promise that I'll actually stream it, because I'm not sure if I'll make it in time for Good Friday. But I might try to make those hot cross buns that I see everyone make for Easter. Well, I think it's for Good Friday, but basically for Easter. That'll be fun. I've never made those before, but I have a good idea how to do it. I've made doughs like it before, so I have an idea of how to do it. I always say I'm not a big holiday person. I don't celebrate the holidays that much. Bob said I've had matzah style bread, but I can't remember the name. It was very good. Yeah, you probably had something like it before. It's the giant cracker. I'm sure a lot of other types of crackers look like that. But yeah, the talking about leavening, um, it's a good topic. It's a good topic, leavening. So the reason why Jews eat matzah on Passover is because when they were fleeing the Egyptians, they didn't have time. You need to get a napkin. They didn't have time to leaven the bread. So, God said every year you have to eat unleavened bread. So matzah is a little different than a cracker because usually cracker has some baking powder or baking soda in it, and matzah has no leavening. It has to have no leavening whatsoever. So that's what makes it a little bit different than a cracker, but it's basically a giant cracker with no leavening. So with matzah, it might have some blisters on the top, but it doesn't bubble. It's super flat, super flat. And people complain about having to eat matzah all week during Passover because it's just like it's like kind of stale tasting a little. But I mean, I think it's fine as long as you put something. If you put something good on it, it tastes good, right? But obviously, it's not as good as bread. So I mean, there are other types of flatbreads that don't have leavening in them, but that aren't matzah. For example, sometimes tortillas have leavening in them, but I think traditionally they don't. It's just flour, water, and some oil. So there's, I think some, like the ones you get at the store sometimes have baking powder in them, but traditionally they don't. So they don't really rise. They're flat, right? So a lot of those breads that are perfectly flat, I think roti too is a very similar bread to tortilla, to a flour tortilla that doesn't have leavening in it either. So the Bear Fan, hi the Bear Fan, welcome to the stream. We were talking about matzah because Zalo recommended making pizza with matzah, which is really good. Matzah pizza is really good. But Bob doesn't really know what that is, so I was just explaining. And then we got talking about leavening because that's what we are talking about last week. We're talking about different types of leavening, and then there's some breads that don't have leavening in them at all, like matzah, and like most flour tortillas. I guess more traditional flour tortillas don't have leavening, and then roti is similar. The Bear Fan says matzah. Matzah is a Jewish bread that's eaten during Passover. It's a ceremonial bread, and it looks like a giant cracker. You've definitely seen it before, the Bear Fan. You've seen it. And they sell it in those big cases during Passover, which is coming up soon. So for anyone who just came in, I'm eating my lunch. So if you guys are eating your lunch, let me know what you're eating. I know it's later in Finland right now, so you're probably not eating lunch. But Bob said yesterday I mixed wheat flour, salt, water, and butter, then frying it in a pan, and it was good. There's no leavening. See, yeah, so that's an example of like it sounds almost like a griddle cake or something, and there's no leavening. Bob is eating candy now. Oh, that's dessert, I guess. The Bear Fan says yes, was asking if that's what you were talking about. We have a place here in town that makes matzah pizza. Yeah, matzah pizza is good. That's why Zalo mentioned it. He said matzah pizza is good. But yeah, I'm eating the Zalo's gonna go visit. Yeah, it's in New Jersey. It's I think the Bear Fan lives in South Jersey. I'm eating whole wheat sourdough that I made on Friday. I made it on Friday, so that means it's 5 days old. Oh no, the Bear Fan, you live in California. Sorry, somebody else lives in New Jersey. I got you guys confused. Sorry about that. But it's whole wheat sourdough, and on top I have beans. These are brown chickpeas and collard greens, and the sauce, of course, is a peanut sauce with lemon and chilies in it. So it's like a lemony, spicy sauce. And the brown chickpeas, you can, if you want to try to like recreate it, you can use regular chickpeas. But I got the brown chickpeas from a South Asian or Indian grocery store. And I mean, they're very similar to regular chickpeas, but they have a different texture. They're like a little crunchier, you could say. So yeah, that's what I'm eating for lunch. If you're eating lunch, let me know. It's kind of like a take on the British beans and toast, but I don't think I've ever had British beans and toast, so I'm not sure. I'm sure it's good, but I've never actually had the traditional one. Have any of you ever tried the British beans and toast? And what are your thoughts? Or a full British breakfast, I think. I don't think I've had that either. Is that a tomato? Zalo said bread plus tomato equals pizza. You could also make a French bread pizza. I know my mom used to do that all the time. Very classic, like quick meal. If you buy like baguettes, put sauce and cheese on it, and then put it in the oven. French bread pizza. Very classic. I feel like it's very 90s meal. But you could do that. Bob said, I learned yesterday that tomatoes are fruits. And Zalo said school pizza. You mean like Zalo, school pizza? They used to give us Domino's. That was horrible. I did not like that. But Bob, not only are tomatoes fruits, but so are eggplants, peppers, most things we call vegetables or fruits. I don't know why everyone gets hung up on tomatoes being fruits. There's almost all the vegetables are fruits. Like I said, eggplants, zucchini, pumpkins are fruits. They're all fruits. The only ones that aren't fruits are like the leafy greens and the root vegetables. So, and yeah, like potatoes, which are root vegetables. So they're not fruits. But put tomatoes, avocados are fruits. They're all fruits. So don't let that stop you from eating them. Olives are fruits, right? So I think capers are fruits. It's all fruits. Cucumbers are fruits. So basically the fruit, if it's, well, one, if it has seeds, it's most likely a fruit. But if it's growing on top of the soil and it comes from, what do you call that? When there are two flowers, there'll be a male and a female flower, and they pollinate. When it comes from pollinating the flowers, and I even have a pepper plant, though there's no flowers on it right now. But what happens is when the flowers come and they pollinate, they cross pollinate each other, and then carrot is not a fruit, Bob. Carrot is a root vegetable. But that's a good question. So the flowers will cross-pollinate each other, and then out of the flower, it's actually pretty cool to see, out of the flower, a pepper will grow. And the flower will fall off, and a pepper will grow. So I've seen that with, I don't have eggplant, like an eggplant plant, but I've seen it with eggplants and zucchini. It's the same thing. It grows right out of the flower. So it's, those are all fruits. Anything that grows like that is a fruit. But carrots grow in the ground. They're not fruits. But a lot of the vegetables are fruits, and everyone gets hung up on tomatoes being fruits. But they're not. Nuts? I think nuts are not fruits, because nuts grow in little pods on trees. Except for peanuts grow in the ground, but they're also not fruits. I don't think. I'm going to say they're not. But look into it. It's like everything's a fruit, I swear. The only one I'm not sure about, this is something to look into. I don't know if coconuts are fruits or not. Coconuts look like they might be fruits, but I'm not sure. They might be a giant nut, but they're so huge and they have meat on the inside, and truffles, I believe, are mushrooms, which are fungi, which are totally different than fruits and vegetables. But culinarily, I'd say they're vegetables. So that's the thing, right? So culinarily is different than botanically. Like culinarily, tomatoes, we use them like vegetables, right? So that's why when people get hung up on tomatoes being fruits, it's like there's so many vegetables that we call vegetables because they're not sweet, and we put them in salads and things like that. We call them vegetables for that reason. And but there are, a lot of them are technically fruit. So I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's basically, it doesn't matter. It's interesting, but it doesn't really matter. Bob, what a question. Bob, do you like pineapple on pizza? I'll ask you. Everyone in the chat. Before I answer, everyone in the chat, do you like pineapple on pizza? Mm-hmm. Okay, I was about to ask Zalo, do you like pineapples on pizza? No, I don't like pineapples on pizza. So Bob said yes. The Bear fan said nope. And Zalo said no with an exclamation point. No, I think, first of all, I don't really like pineapples. I think pineapples are a little gross. They kind of burn your mouth. They're okay if you like cook them, I think. Which I guess in pineapple pizza, you're cooking them, so it's not as bad. I mean, I've had them in applications that are okay. But for the most part, I don't really like pineapple. And on pizza, I think that's just not right. I don't think it's right. No. And Bob, I know you know this is a controversial take that you have. The pineapple on pizza thing is controversial. Zalo said he hasn't tried it in a while. He said my taste buds might have changed, so he has to try it again. The Bear fan says to me, it makes the pizza soggy and affects the taste of what the pizza should taste like. Yeah, it's not. It's not right. It's not right. In general, too many toppings on pizza is not good, right? Because it makes it soggy. So you have to be careful with your toppings. But pineapple, I don't know. I mean, there are other sour foods like if you want to put them on to be sour, you can put olives on to be sour or something like that. But no. Well, what's your favorite pizza topping? Bob, the Bear fan, and Zalo, and anyone else hanging out in the chat. What's your favorite pizza topping? I don't know if I have one, so I'm thinking about it. I do like greens on the pizza, but also mushrooms are good too. Cheese and all. Yeah, like a plain pizza with cheese. Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't order pizza very much. Sausage. Crumble sausage, pepperoni, cheese, light sauce. Light sauce? Okay. The sauce is the good part. Yeah, I don't. When I was younger, I loved pepperoni. I loved pepperoni when I was younger. Now I don't know. The last pizza I made had a red pepper sauce on it and arugula, and that was good. But that was, it was my pizza, so I had all the. It was not a traditional pizza at all. Basically, didn't have a tomato sauce in it. It didn't have. I mean, I don't use real cheese anyway because I'm a vegan, but it didn't have real cheese on it. It was totally just a different type of pizza. But I like to get creative when I cook for myself. also made a pizza for my husband that had salsa verde on it. So that's why he's saying salsa verde, because you probably can't get that in most places. But he really liked it. So if you like, salsa verde is made with, it's a salsa made with tomatillos. I'm sure you guys know, but just in case you don't. My husband loves salsa verde. It's not my favorite. My favorite, I think I like the red salsa better, which is made with tomatoes. But he loves it. So I made a pizza with it and he was obsessed. The Bear fan, that's a great question. I think New York and New Jersey both have good pizza. A good thin crust. My favorite crust is a thin crust. Outside of New Jersey, I don't really get the thin crust. It's sometimes soggy. The crust is always, it's usually the crust that's off outside of New Jersey. I'm sure the toppings are fine, but usually it's the crust that's off. I had pretty good pizza though. It wasn't a thin crust. It didn't claim to be a thin crust. It was a deep dish pizza in Chicago. And I was ready to hate it because, you know, I'm from New Jersey and we're very stuck up about pizza here. And I'm not that stuck up about pizza. I'm not a big pizza person. But in general, when it comes to stuff like that, you know, we can get a little stuck up. In Chicago, I had, I don't know, I'll get back to that. In Chicago, I had a deep dish pizza that was really good. I think it had jalapenos on it. It was just really good. But it wasn't. It was a totally different eating experience than a pizza I'd have here. So it's just different. And then the beer fan said Maldanites. I'm not sure what you said spelling. I'm not sure what you're trying to say. Malnati's. Oh, is that? Oh, okay. Is that a pizza place here? It probably is. I don't know all the names of the pizza places. We used to go to. Now the name's escaping me. Just a local pizzeria. I can't remember the name of it. It doesn't matter. We used to go there, and when I was a kid, like I said, I wasn't a big pizza person. Oh, in Chicago, Maldante's in Chicago. Okay, Malnati's. I didn't go there. I went to a vegan place. I was already vegan by the time I went. And I wasn't a big pizza person, and I would get a tuna sub instead. Bruno's, that's the name. It was Bruno's. It was a local pizzeria, and I used to get tuna subs there. So the tuna sub at Bruno's is great. I'll tell you that. But Bob said this is pretty interesting. Once when I was young, I put mushrooms collected from the forest on a pizza, but they should have been boiled first, so that there would not have been any poisons. Did you poison yourself with mushrooms? Is foraging for mushrooms common? Just myself. Okay. Is foraging for mushrooms common in Finland? There are mushrooms everywhere where I am anyway. Maybe not all over New Jersey, but luckily where I am, I get to see some. Even though I live in the city, there's some nature around here, and I see a lot of mushrooms. But here, it's pretty much discouraged to forage for mushrooms. They do. There are like expert foragers. I asked, is foraging for mushrooms common in Finland? And I was just saying that here it's pretty much discouraged. You can pay someone who's an expert forager to help you. I've seen that before. I've never done it. That would be cool. I'd like to do it. That'd be fun. A fun like little weekend activity to do. And fairly inexpensive compared to like maybe other more lavish weekend trips. Oh, forage. I just mean what you did when you collected mushrooms. That was foraging for mushrooms. Yeah. So new word. So if you say I collect mushrooms, you can also say I foraged for mushrooms. And forage is just when you collect. You can forage for like other things like berries. When you collect wild plants to eat or to use in some way. Sorry, I didn't mean to use a word that you didn't know, but that's okay because now you learned a new word. Um, but yeah, is it common in Finland to do that, to go out and collect mushrooms? Um, But yeah, I would like, pay someone to help me or me and my husband to go do that. That sounds actually like fun. Um, but yeah, here it's pretty much discouraged because you could poison yourself like you did, Bob. I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't try it unless I had an expert with me. We buy our mushrooms from the store here. But maybe one day I'll become an expert forager and I'll just, I'll save a lot of money that way. I'll save a lot of money if I just get all my mushrooms from outdoors. There's plenty of them. There has to be one of them that's edible out there. We get some weird mushrooms over here though. We get some weird like pink ones that look like clouds. I've taken pictures of them, but I don't know. They're in my phone somewhere. They're lost in the sauce in my phone because I have too many pictures in there. But it's they're so weird looking, and I'm sure they're poisonous or something. The weirder they look, the more I'm sure they're poisonous. Bob said, yes, and Asians always come here to collect them because that's how they get the year's income for themselves. Oh, so Asians like who live in Finland or Asians from Asia like travel all the way to Finland to collect mushrooms. That's really interesting. And I mean, mushrooms, Bob, are very, this, they're very valuable, especially certain types of mushrooms are very valuable. So if they're collecting truffles, for example, they can make a lot of money off that. I could see that becoming like an industry, wild mushroom collecting. Or it not only becoming, it is already an industry. That's pretty cool. Bob said they fly here and the tats are sold in Italy, etc. Okay. Wow. That's interesting. I didn't know that. But that's pretty cool that, it's common to like collect your own mushrooms. Bob, you can tell the difference now between a poisonous mushroom and a safe mushroom, or have you not learned that since you were a kid? You still poison yourself with mushrooms? Bob, what you could do if you ever come to the States, for whatever reason, you probably don't want to come here, but if you ever do, you can teach classes on how to forage for mushrooms. I'm sure, or collect mushrooms. I'm sure there are plenty. I'm sure you get a lot of money from doing that, and I'm sure there's plenty of people who like doing that. Just a thought, I would pay you to help me forage mushrooms, so that would be fun. But you probably don't want to come here, so it's just a thought. Is anyone doing anything fun this weekend or for the rest of the week? If you can hear my neighbors, I'm sorry, but I mean, I think it's more authentic that you can hear them anyway. That's how it is in Bayonne, so it feels like you're here. Oh, wow. Bob said here some of the entrepreneurs were convicted of human trafficking. when they had not paid enough to the Asian berry pickers. I mean, I believe that. I mean, stuff like that happens here too all the time, but just usually with Latin American workers from Mexico and South America. But yeah, it's troubling. It's hard because you know how the economy is functioning and how immigration is functioning or not functioning. And I don't want to get too far into politics because that's one of my rules. But essentially, it's a tricky situation. It's tough, but I mean, at least they're enforcing the laws. It looks like so that's good. But this weekend is St. Patrick's Day here, and I guess everywhere. But here we take it more seriously than some other places. But on Saturday, I think St. Patrick's Day is on Sunday. Oh no, wait, is it tomorrow? Is tomorrow St. Patrick's Day? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what day it is actually. Well, it's coming up definitely in the next week. So on Saturday, we're going to this like Irish music thing. I'm not sure what it is. I got invited from a friend who I haven't seen in a while, so that's why we're going. And it'd probably be fun. I mean, I don't honestly like if Irish. I don't think it's like step music like Irish dance. I think it might be an Irish like rock band. I'm not 100% though. Sounds good to me though. It'll probably be nice. And it'll be nice to see my friends again. So that's what we're doing this weekend. That's more eventful than most of my weekends. I'll also be streaming this weekend, and we're doing it on Sunday instead of Saturday because Saturday, like I said, I'm going to be seeing my friends, so I don't want to rush the stream. I like to make sure I have enough time in case the bread takes longer to make or something like that because we're doing mango sourdough. That's right, mango sourdough. So we're going back to fermenting and we're gonna, make a sourdough loaf with pieces of mango in it. It is absolutely delicious. It's one of my favorite. I mean, I always say that about every loaf because I'm like every loaf is my favorite, but this one is really one of my favorites. So it's going to be Sunday, 8 a.m. Eastern time, just like every week, except 8 a.m. like every week, but different day. So instead of Saturday, it'll be on Sunday. Bob says mango is a fruit. Mango is a fruit, and it's a fruit that we call a fruit culinarily, and that is botanically a fruit. Yes, mangoes are fruits, and they're delicious. In fact, I believe they're considered the king of fruit. Bless you, Munchkin. I believe they're considered the king of fruit. Yeah. When we went to Sri Lanka, which I know I always talk about this trip, but you can't talk about it too much because it was so great. We had the best mangoes. The best mangoes. They were delicious, and they made this. Well, they called it juice. They called it mango juice, but it was kind of like a smoothie. Like it was thick like a smoothie, not like thin like a juice. Bob, we'll get back to that because that's an interesting thing you just said. But they, it's not really juice. It's like thick, and so it was so good. So if you ever go to the tropics, anywhere in the tropics, I believe you'll get good mangoes. But definitely South Asia and Southeast Asia, very good mangoes. But Bob said something interesting that I think I think this might be a cultural difference. He said Pepsi mango is great. Are you telling me, Bob, that in Finland they have mango flavored Pepsi? Because they don't have that here. They have like cherry Coke. I don't know, vanilla Pepsi. I don't know all the soda flavors because I actually don't drink soda. But I know they don't have mango Pepsi. That's great. Yeah, they don't have mango Pepsi here, but they should bring it here. I don't even drink soda, and I think they should bring it. Yeah, I know they have like cherry flavored and vanilla flavor. I don't think they have. I can't think of another flavor they have. If anyone else wants to chime in on soda flavors, I'm not the best person to ask about soda flavors, but mango is not one of the flavors. Excuse me. Something made me sneeze. But yeah, mango is not one of the flavors that I'm aware of. Thank you, the Bear fan. Thank you. Do you guys have like favorite fruits, or like I just said, mango's the king of fruits, but it's actually not my favorite. I think my favorite, I mean, it would probably have to be a berry, like sweet fruit. I mean, culinary fruit, things that we often call fruits. Yeah, it probably have to be a berry for me, either a blueberries, or cranberries. But then I guess apples. Yeah, Zalo is very specific. Zalo said tie between mandarin oranges and champagne mangoes. Yeah, if I were to get more specific, I mean, I don't know the different. Bob says I ate lingonberries today. Bob, are lingonberries kind of like cranberries? Are they tart like cranberries? Or are they different? Because I've never had a lingonberry. I probably would like it, but I've never had one. But yeah, definitely blueberries and cranberries are up there. And then I love sour food, so Granny Smith apples also up there. Definitely. Bob, I have never seen a lingonberry. I have never seen a lingonberry here. Definitely not in the regular grocery stores. Maybe in a specialty store. I think you can get um lingonberry jam probably in specialty stores, like international stores. But fresh lingonberries, I have never seen, and I think it would be hard to get. If anyone in the chat has a different experience, maybe in a different part of the U.S., there might be like different experiences because the U.S. is fairly large, right? And they might sell it somewhere else, but I've never seen it. Are they sour? Are they sweet? Are they somewhere in between? I'm curious. Bob, IKEA might have them. Bob asked, doesn't even IKEA have them? I think if IKEA has them, they don't have fresh ones. They have like jam. They'll have it already like preserved in a preserve or jam or sauce or something. I really doubt they have fresh lingonberries at IKEA. It might be difficult to transport them. That's one thing. It might be difficult to transport them fresh. They might be easily broken or crushed or something. Another thing that, I mean, it's all supply and demand. So if there's no demand for lingonberries in the US, or the demand is like very small, then they're not going to export them in large numbers. So when we go to the store and we look at all the berries, we have blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries. Usually that's our berry selection. I might be missing something, but usually that's our berry selection. In the fall, we might get cranberries, but usually those are used. I love cranberries, but most Americans use that to make cranberry sauce and don't eat them raw. And it's very seasonal. Um, so I've never seen a lingonberry there. I've seen what are those called? I can't remember the other berry. But again, sometimes when you go to farmers markets, you see different things. Gooseberries. I've seen gooseberries, but not at a store, at a farmer's market. So it wasn't at a regular grocery store. So even gooseberries, you can't really find gooseberries here. And I had a gooseberry and I didn't love it. But maybe because I'm not used to it, I thought it was very tart, but not in a pleasant way, which is surprising for me because I usually like tart foods. But yeah, what are lingonberries like? I'm curious. And if anyone else has seen a lingonberry in the US, please let us know. Clean plate club for me. I'm going to wash my face and my hands, probably blow my nose too, and then come right back and we can just chat for another hour or so. And you can, and Bob, while you're while I'm doing that, you can think really hard about what a lingonberry tastes like, because I need to know. Just kidding. But yeah, I'll be right back. So Bob said if it is because they're not allowed to be collected raw, so that they can be fully ripened there, like bananas are done here. Maybe. Oh look, Munchin's waiting. Oh, my cat. I don't know, but I've never encountered a lingonberry, so not sure. Not sure. Bob says, I can't say what the difference is. You have to ask IKEA if they're in the freezer. Yeah, next time I go to IKEA, I'll start poking around for some lingonberries. I'm sure they have the jam there, though, at the very least. They have the jam. But yeah. I'm trying to think if there's any other weird fruits. I mean, for example, I don't know about here. There's probably plenty of fruits that we have here that you might not have. But when we went to Sri Lanka again, we had some tropical fruits. One of the tropical fruits that we had that we really liked was soursop. I don't know if anyone's had soursop. It tastes it's like a big green fruit like this, but when it's ripe, it's like very soft, and it's creamy on the inside, and it tastes a little bit like strawberries. I don't know how to describe it, but it was really good. It was almost like a floral taste to it, like strawberries have kind of a floral taste, so it was kind of like that. But yeah, that fruit was really good. I don't think I'd eat it all the time, but it was really good. But yeah, I can't think of if there's another fruit that we get here that you might not get over there. Cranberries was the first one that I mentioned a few weeks ago that you don't have. Zalo said soursop kind of tasted like bubblegum. Yeah, I guess it kind of tastes like bubblegum a little bit. Like nature's bubblegum. Bubblegum before there was bubblegum. Yeah, it was really good. Were there any other like tropical fruits we tried that were different? There were. I just don't know the names of all of them. Because we tried this one fruit that it what did it taste like? It tasted like alcohol. I don't know how to describe that. There was one fruit that tasted a little bit like wine, I guess, or something. It tasted alcoholic. I don't remember the name of it. It was brown. It wasn't really sweet at all. It was like savory. It was like a savory fruit. I don't remember the name of it, so I guess it's not important. But we had a lot of interesting fruits. But 'tis the season for growing things. I don't know how it's where you are, but here it's getting warmer. It's almost spring. I think spring is in a week. It'll be the first day of spring. Is anyone growing anything in their garden or anything like that for spring and summer? I know I have my fig tree right here, which probably won't grow any figs. And I have a pepper plant over there that I don't know how long it's like 3 years old. I don't know how long it's gonna live for. I was surprised it lasted the winter, but we'll see. And then I have some parsley plants, and I'll probably plant some more parsley because they do really well inside, and I like to use it a lot. So I might plant some more parsley. But other than that, I live in an apartment, so right now I don't have room for an outdoor garden, but hopefully soon I have room for an outdoor garden when I have a house. Which might not be soon, but soon enough. Soon enough. Yeah, but does anyone else have a garden or anything they're looking forward to for the spring? Other than the lovely weather? Cherry blossoms, going to the park, gardening like me. Even indoor gardening does better in the spring and summer because we just get more light. Even inside by the window, we're getting more light in the spring and summer and early fall than in the winter. So the plants just do better even inside. They do better in the summertime. I can show you this. I brought this out actually before to show you. You guys get a sneak peek at this. I made this on, what day did I make this on? Yeah, it's a little stale, but still good. I don't remember what day I made it on. It's purple. It was actually more purple the day I made it. It lost a little bit of its color, but I made it with purple sweet potato. So I'm testing this out. I didn't even post anything on Instagram yet about this, so you guys are getting a sneak peek. So this is a purple sweet potato sourdough. And like I said, it's a few days old. It's still fine to eat. I would just toast it before I ate it. But it was brighter purple the day I made it. So yeah, sneak peek into that. You can put a lot of things into sourdough to change the color. What I like about the purple sweet potato is the color stays fairly intact, whereas the beets usually fade a little bit with the baking. The color in beet just reacts to heat and sometimes it makes it yellow. so you have to add like an vitamin C to it, but the vitamin C sometimes messes with the gluten development, and it's just like a annoying. But this, you don't have to add vitamin C to it. The color stays purple even with the heat. Bob says, I've never seen anything like that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. If you are interested in bread baking, I'm not the first person to do this. It does, I mean, trends go in and out, but sometimes it becomes trendy to add, you know, colors to your sourdough. Right now, it's actually trendy to add like, I see a lot of people adding sprinkles to their sourdough, and by sprinkles, I mean like the little sweet pebbles, right? The things you put on ice cream, sprinkles. And I'm like, I mean, all power to you. You can do that if you want. But I was like, no, you don't want sprinkles to bread. This is not cake, I said. Not cake. But I think they're doing it for spring, something colorful. I even see them adding little shamrock sprinkles for St. Patrick's Day, and the little and 4-leaf clover sprinkles for St. Patrick's Day. So I see that a lot now on Instagram and all the bread people I follow. But yeah, Bob asked if I put plums in bread. I've never put plums in bread. I don't eat plums that often, but we do have plums here in the summer. They kind of come in season with the peaches and the nectarines, uh, the apricots. Those types of fruits come in season in the summer. And I think I put peaches in bread once, and I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it, so I didn't do it again. But maybe I'll have to try plums. I like plums more than I like peaches. And I also like apricots more than I like peaches. Apricots are actually probably out of those three are my favorite ones. But I think I even put dried apricots in once and I didn't love it too. So I think I just stopped trying with those types of fruits. But I've never put plums in bread. Bob, you said you've eaten that. You mean plum bread or a peach bread? I think honestly, when I put the fruits in the bread, mango is my favorite one. So I just don't put the other. When I try to put the other fruits in the bread, I don't like it as much. There are some other ones I like though. Obviously, raisin bread's good, and fig bread is really good. I use dried figs and used to put that in the bread, and that's really good. Yeah, so I would do that. Bob says I don't know anymore. Bob doesn't know what he's eaten and what he hasn't eaten. But yeah, there are plenty of things you can put in the bread, in your sourdough. Adding inclusions, we'll talk about it on Sunday. But adding inclusions does pose challenges, and there are different ways you can add the inclusion to make it easier or harder for you to add it. But there's the world is your oyster. You can really get creative. I just said people were adding sprinkles to their sourdough. That's pretty creative. I wouldn't do that, but again, all the power to you. You can do that. But yeah, there's plenty of ways you can get creative with your bread making. And we'll do some of that on Sunday. And I'm also going to probably do along with the mango sourdough some test loaves. So you get to see me test the sourdough. So that'll be fun for you, I'm sure. And you'll see how it comes out. Some loaves I've never made before, so we'll see how it comes out together. I forgot what I was going to ask. Okay, look at him. Look at him. Hold on a second. Sorry, my cat I think he's a little hungry. He ate his medicine late, and I think that's the problem. Christmas bread, like fruit bread, fruit cake. Yeah, fruitcake. Fruitcake is good. My mom really likes fruitcake. I made that for her a few years ago, and she wanted more. But yes, fruitcake is really good. And I believe probably in Finland you have different types of fruitcake. The one we have here is like really sweet and dense. Like it's like a brick. It's dense because of all the fruit in it, right? That makes it dense. But it's like so sweet. It's so sweet. Um, but I think you might have different types in Finland. Is the fruit bread you're talking about it? Is it like a fluffy bread or is it like a really dense cake? It's heavy and dense and very sweet. Sometimes even like soaking in syrup and things like that. It's fairly common and around Christmas to do that. Bob says very thick rye bread. Yeah, that's different than what we have here. That sounds good. So it's a rye bread with fruit in it. I might have to look that up when we leave. A rye bread with fruit in it. But yeah, to me that's different. So like I said, there's so many things you can do with it. Sometimes plain is best, like just a plain loaf. But and there's a lot of ways you can add like colors to bread too. Like I was talking about before, the purple sweet potato versus the beets. But I've seen people do other things like add spinach to bread to make it green, or matcha, which is green tea, to make it green. Oh, the trendy thing. I've never done this, but I've seen bright blue breads, and they add butterfly. What is it called? Butterfly pea powder, I think. Butterfly pea powder, and it makes things bright blue. So yeah, there's different ways to add colors to your bread. I don't like my bread to be bright blue, so I don't add butterfly pea powder to it. But the purple ones I do like. I think that looks pretty cool. The blue's just kind of eerie. I don't know. It's a little weird. Or you can add turmeric to it to make it orange. So I've seen all this before. And like I said, there's trends. You see people start picking up on something and they take off with it. But yeah, are there any flavors like coming up soon? I am thinking it's almost spring, and spring it's slow. At least here, I don't in California might be already things are in season all year long. Maybe I'm not sure, but here it'll start to pick up slowly. But there are some spring produce that I'm excited to test out things with, like for example, strawberries. Strawberries should be coming up soon. So we'll see if we can do something with that on stream. Um, Bob, I'm assuming you like strawberries, right? There are strawberries in Finland. They're the pink, reddish pink ones that are, they have little seeds all over them. They're cute. I feel like they're the cutest one. But yeah, we're getting those soon in season. I mean, you can get them all year round, but the best ones you can get when they're in season, especially with berries. And berries are so expensive. I do not buy them unless they look really good because they are so expensive. So you might as well wait for when they're in season. Oh, Bob said Bob forages or I guess hunts down all his fruit and vegetables. Strawberries are small in the forest and bigger when grown. Yeah, I'm sure wild strawberries are really small. I think I've seen them before. I think, but yeah, they can get pretty big. Yeah, I've seen like really huge, like the tap is here and it's like that big, a strawberry. So yeah, they can get pretty big. Bob says, as a child, we collected them. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. When I have a child, hopefully we can live somewhere where we can collect strawberries. That's that's living the life, really. That's really living the life. So I asked this question before, but I think not all of you were here. Is anyone doing anything for the holidays coming up? Bob said move here. I don't think I'll be moving to Finland anytime soon, but it does sound nice. Does sound nice. I would have to assimilate and learn Finnish. I'm assuming they speak Finnish, or is there a different language that they speak? And I believe it's cold up there. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to move to Finland quite yet. But yeah, is anyone doing anything for the holidays coming up? Or anything else? Finnish or Swedish? Both of those languages I don't know. Unfortunately, I only know English. Unfortunately. My husband knows Spanish, so we might fare better if we move to a Spanish speaking country. But we probably won't do that either. We'll probably stay in America. That's where our family is, and it's what we're used to. But I'm sure Finland's really nice. We should go visit. My husband does want to learn the Sami language. Yeah, I can learn the indigenous language. That'll help me too. then I'll be ready to move to Finland. But my husband does want to go see the Northern Lights. I think I've mentioned this before too. And there's so many places you can see it, right? As long as you're, above a certain, I think, latitude. Correct me if I'm wrong with that. You'll be able to see it. But Finland has some pretty cool different programs or experiences, right, for travelers, where they have these like kind of like a retreat, almost like a weekend retreat to see the Northern Lights, and they guarantee you're going to see the Northern Lights because I'm assuming it's above a certain latitude, so you're going to see it one of those nights. It's bound to happen. So I think we were looking into that maybe for a future trip, like way in the future though. Yeah, Zalo says they make the lights better over there, but I want to see them in Scotland. Yeah, in Scotland you can see them too. I think it might be easier to see them in Finland though, but yeah. Scotland would also be an option. Yes. I guess Munchkin has had his fill. He's going to sleep. Let's see, can you see? Where are you, Munch? Oh, he's just standing behind me. That crazy critter. You never know what he's gonna do. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, any of you have, I think I might have asked you this if you have pets. I just have Munch over here being kooky. Bob wants to go to Scotland sometime. Oh, okay. Bob, why do you want to go to Scotland? What interests you about Scotland? I would like to see the castles. That's something that's cool about Scotland. And it looks like picturesque, like the scenery. Looks very nice. I'm sure you have similar picturesque scenery in Finland. Yeah, Bob said all. So everything about Scotland is interesting. I also like their accents. I probably won't be able to understand them. That's how, or maybe not. Maybe it's exaggerated on TV, but some of the Scottish accents I think are quite hard to understand. So let's see, so this week, next week, and then, so in 2 weeks will be, does anyone get like I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure you guys aren't students. Does anyone get a spring break? For me, in 2 weeks, the week before Easter is spring break because I'm a teacher. So I'll have that week off, so that's exciting. I probably won't do anything exciting though, because probably just be working on stuff for YouTube and Instagram, and for you guys here, making more bread stuff and testing out more recipes. That's actually okay. Good segue. We can do an update now. So let me check if it's up yet. I have updated my blog since I last saw you. I added the sourdough spelt flatbread. So if anyone's interested in trying the sourdough spelt flatbread, it's up on the blog. I also uploaded, although I have to check if it actually uploaded. I think it's just taking a long time to process. Let me see. I uploaded a video for that as well. No, it's still taking a long time to process. Maybe I'll try to do it again, because maybe just uploading incorrectly. But when I'm done here, I'll do that. But I'm uploading the video to YouTube as well for the sourdough flatbread. So if you want to watch it in video format, you can. The live stream's already up there from when we made it together, but I'm uploading a 15-minute tutorial on how to do it. So if you're interested in that, follow me on YouTube and follow me on Instagram if you want to get updates on when I'm streaming and what I'm going to be making, and even some side experiments. Like I didn't do it yet, but I'm going to upload the sweet potato bread, the purple sweet potato bread, probably today when I'm done with this. And so yeah, follow me on those two places. That's where I'm most active if you want to see those updates and things like that. Now Munchkin's here. Yeah, he's sleeping. Well, not yet, but he will be. Yeah, Munch. He's a little old. He's 15 years old, but he's still doing good. Anyone cooking anything interesting this weekend? Doing any meal prep? That's interesting. What am I making this weekend for meal prep? I think I'm doing some recipe testing. Yes, I am doing some recipe testing, but what am I recipe testing? The world may never know. I'm going to make chilaquiles, I think. But I was going to make a sourdough version, so you guys are getting the scoop on that. And I was going to make something else, but it's escaping me. Oh, yeah. I remember. I was going to make some soy chunks. And now, if you don't know what soy chunks are, it's just the defatted soy. So it's a byproduct of when they make soybean oil. They take the fat out of the soybean. And then you end up with this like fibrous, high protein thing. And then they can make it into different products. So one product they make it into is soy chunks. So vegetarians and vegans will use this as a meat substitute because it is very high in protein. And I was going to make like a Thai kind of sauce with it, Thai inspired sauce with it, and see what I can come up with. Maybe put it on a sandwich or something. So yeah, I was recipe testing this weekend / meal prepping. I'm also working on, Salo said bread soup with soy chunks. Yeah, we could do bread soup with soy chunks. This is a thing I've been recipe testing for a while. And actually, who those of you in the chat still with us, let me know your 2 cents on this. Okay? So, bread soup is a thing they make in Italy. I'm sure they make it in other places too, but I know it's an Italian thing. I think Southern Italian specifically. And um, there's multiple different versions of it. There's the one that's just with tomatoes, and then there's another one that has like beans in it. I think it's ribollita, the one with the beans and the greens in it and stuff. And it's, they literally put the stale bread into the soup. Um, and I've been playing around with it, but I feel that it's just like not. I feel like the bread just gets too mushy in the soup. Even though it was stale before, it gets too mushy in the soup. And I'm not sure if it's really for me. Maybe it's not for me. Maybe there are other ways that I'd rather use stale bread. But I want to come up with, I show you how to make all this bread. And, I also want to do we've already done some sourdough discard recipes on here. And sourdough discard just means that I use the sourdough not to leaven anything. I just use it as maybe to help activate the baking soda, like in the soda bread, or I use it to bind the ingredients together, like with the miso banana bread and the cornbread. Those recipes didn't really help leaven. It didn't, it just went in for another reason. So that's sourdough discard. But then there are also other things that I could show you how to do with your stale bread. If you get really into it and you make a lot of bread and then you end up with too much, what could you do with the stale bread? And you forgot to put it in the freezer, let's say. You just have too much. Bread soup is a common suggestion that comes up when you look up what to do with stale bread. Bob, I don't think corn is is it a fruit? It's a grain, but is it a fruit? Bob, that's a good question. Zalo, tell us if corn is a fruit. That's your job. Is corn a fruit? What was I saying? Is corn a fruit? Bob, you have the best questions. I don't. Oh yeah, the stale bread thing. I was going on about the stale bread thing. Yeah, so bread soup often comes up. So I keep trying to recipe test different types of bread soup. It's not bad, but I just feel like it just gets so mushy. And then at that point, like maybe you should save the bread for when you're actually going to eat the soup and not put it in at once. But then I feel like it's not a good stale bread recipe because you have to just like save the bread until you make the soup. Bob asks, is popcorn a salad? Yes. Zalo answered the question. Corn is a fruit. So popcorn is not only a salad, it's a fruit salad. It's a fruit salad. Yeah, so we learned so much on this stream. We learned that corn is a fruit. And see, the Zalo copied and pasted something from Wikipedia or something. But tomatoes, green peppers, cucumbers, zucchinis, and other squashes are also fruit. Also eggplants and things like that. But yeah, a lot of things we classify as vegetables are fruits. So popcorn is a fruit salad. But speaking of salad, because yes, if popcorn is salad, so DeBearfan might be aware of this. I'm sure he is. I don't think Bob is aware of this though. So salads in the Midwest, in the United States, Midwestern United States, are a very broad category. I'm not from the Midwest, so I didn't grow up with these types of salads, but I've heard of them and I've seen pictures of them, and they're fascinating to me. Okay, Bob, have you ever heard of a Jello salad? A Jello salad. So Zalo, could you put a link to a picture of a Jello salad in the chat? Zalo's our little helper today. So a Jello salad is a salad made with Jello, and there's usually things in the Jello. Like if Zalo looks up a Jello salad, you might see it. There's usually things suspended in the Jello. So if I look up Jello salad, let's see. So I get some with fruit in it. Oh my god, that looks so disgusting. Yeah, Sal has to put some of these in. I'll put one in that I see right here that looks really gross. It's a lime jello. Hold on. A lime jello fluff salad. So this one not only has jello in it, but has marshmallows in it. So I'll put this one in. I think Zala will find a different one. So jello salad, it could be almost anything. They're usually desserts, but it's like this one has fluff, which is it's like marshmallows. So it has fluff. It has jello. It looks like it has cherries in it. Some of them have the jello intact still, and there's things suspended in the jello. And there might be whipped cream. I mean, there are some crazy Jello salads, but yes, Midwestern salads could be anything. Let's see. Oh, Zalo put the history of Jello salad in the chat. So this one is probably. Oh yes, this one is good. The first picture looks like there's oranges suspended in the salad or the Jello. Yes, yes. Some of them have tomatoes and cucumbers suspended in the Jello. Wow, it's pretty gross. What is that? I can't even tell what some of this is. It's really gross looking. But it's very fascinating to me that anything could be a salad. If you call it a salad, it's a salad. You know, if it's Jello mixed with fluff, which is marshmallows, it's a salad. Jello with cucumbers and tomatoes suspended in the Jello is a salad. Because we said so. So Bob, you learned something new today. The Bear fan probably already knew about that. But lemon lime vegetable salad. What's this? Oh wow, that looks gross. Thank you, Zalo. There's olives in this one. Is that olives? In the Jello? So yeah, these are common. I don't know how common they are. But I've heard from other people that they are pretty common in the Midwest. Maybe not anymore. But even here, even in I can't make fun of Midwesterners. Yeah, the Bear fan, that's fine. You said you're just busy making a menu, so on the phone a lot. That's fine, the Bear fan. I understand that I'm not your sole priority. I might still keep talking to you like you're here. But that's fine. Zalo said chopped pimento stuffed green olives. Yeah, that looked like olives in the salad. So, but here, even on this, even on the East Coast, we have weird salads too. I don't know. You might also have these, Bob. I'm not sure. So we have salads that we call them salads, but they're like mayonnaise based. So, which is just, obviously pure. It's eggs and oil mixed together. It's delicious, but it's not healthy. But so there's a few different types. Like macaroni salad is macaroni pasta mixed with mayonnaise. Sometimes there's veggies in it, but it's mostly pasta mixed with mayonnaise. Then we have potato salad, which is potatoes mixed with mayonnaise. And sometimes some veggies in it, but it's mostly potatoes and mayo. And then we also have my personal favorite when I was a kid was tuna salad, which is tuna fish mixed with mayonnaise. So, and egg salad is the same thing, eggs mixed with mayonnaise. So, it's not just the Midwest that has these weird salads, okay? We have them too. Bob, I don't know if you also have the mayonnaise salads. And they are quite delicious. So I don't have anything against the mayonnaise salads. They're really good because mayonnaise tastes good. So when you put it on something, it usually tastes good. But like if mayonnaise on pasta is a salad, then so is popcorn, Bob. That was the main point of this rant. And if Jello salad exists, popcorn can be a salad. Popcorn can be a salad. Popcorn is actually probably healthier than, depending on what you put on it, it's probably healthier than what they put in pasta salad and things like that. Bob said there is potato and Italian and etc. Oh yeah, so you have the mayonnaise based salads too, right? So you understand. They call it a salad, but it's potato and mayonnaise. And Zala says, I like Hawaiian macaroni salad. Yeah. What they put in Hawaiian macaroni salad? Did they put pineapples in it or something? What made it Hawaiian? But yeah, I remember because you like that Hawaiian grill they have in California. That's where you used to eat the Hawaiian macaroni salad. Bob said spam. Maybe they put spam in it. I don't think they did, but actually they could because that is popular in Hawaii. A spam salad. Maybe we could make a spam jello salad where we can, suspend spam in the jello. Wouldn't that be just gross? I think that would be great. I think we should do that. We should make a spam jello salad. Bob said that would be terrible. And that's the point, Bob. I mean, I won't actually do it because I don't like to waste food. But I think as a concept, it's amazing because it's terrible. Because it's terrible. I'll even look it up. Let's see if it exists. Spam jello salad. Jello salad. I don't see a jello one, but there is a bunch of spam macaroni salad. So Bob, you were right. I think they put spam in the macaroni salad. That's funny. Let's see, what is this? Oh, it's the spam website. So it's spam, macaroni, cheese. Oh, at least it has some vegetables. It has carrots, celery, onions, bell pepper. Okay. So it has some vegetables in it. So that's good. But it's mostly macaroni and mayonnaise and some spam, some veggies. It's hilarious. But yes. Yes. So, Bob, you learned something new today. You learned about the gross salads we have in the Midwestern US. So, if you ever come here to the US and you're in the Midwest, try some of their salads. Because it might be gross, but you'll never, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity to try the salads. So Zala said true Hawaiian macaroni salad is pretty much just macaroni, carrot, mayonnaise, and salt and pepper. This is the way the locals make it. There are a few other ingredients you can add, like celery, extra onion, potatoes, fresh crab, or relish. I think he got that from Wikipedia again. Okay, thank you, Zalo. Yeah, carrot, mayonnaise, and salt. Yeah, that's like a macaroni salad. That's a common way to make it. Pretty basic. I don't get what's Hawaiian about it. But yeah. Bob said, let's go to Hawaii. I've been to Hawaii, and of course it's beautiful. It's a beautiful group of islands. I was on two of the islands. I was on Oahu and Maui, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. This was 10 years ago. Zala said there is a place in Los Angeles that called Ono Hawaiian Barbecue that has really good macaroni salad Hawaii in Los Angeles. Yeah, you can go to LA. I'm sure Hawaii is probably nicer than LA. But it's beautiful. Hawaii is beautiful. I guess I wouldn't want to go back. It is beautiful. The locals are nice. It's pleasant. The weather's great. But I don't think it's quite for me in terms of vacationing. If you like the beach, definitely go. If you're really outdoorsy, definitely go. It's interesting. Although there are other places you can go if you're outdoorsy. Um, but yeah, I guess it's hard to get around. There's only one road in on Maui. You have this, and it goes around the whole island. Um, I don't know. I'd probably have more fun now with my husband as an adult than as like an 18-year-old with my my boyfriend and I were about to break up. So it wasn't a good experience for me. But I'd probably have more fun now. But I still wouldn't want to go again. I think there are cheaper places to go that are better, probably. But yeah, Hawaii, it's beautiful. They have macaroni salad, but they have that here too. So you can get that anywhere. The Bear fan said, we have two Hawaiian places around here, one run by Asians and the other by Hawaiians. It is amazing how different it is. Same food, different flavors. Yeah, so I mean, in Hawaii, there are a lot of Asians in Hawaii, so they might actually be Hawaiian. We don't know. Oh, you might know. You might talk to them, but they could be Hawaiian Asians. I know my roommate when I lived in Boston was Hawaiian. She was from Hawaii, but I think she was half Native Hawaiian and half Japanese or something like that. So she was a mix, and I think that's fairly common in Hawaii because there are a lot of Asian immigrants to Hawaii. But yeah, what's Hawaiian food even like? Is it like pokey? Is that what it's called? Poke balls? Um, like a lot of seafood. Like I said, I went to Hawaii. I mean, I had a lot of coconut things when I was there. I had coconut candy, coconut ice cream, things like that were really good. But the bear fan says, "Yeah, my buddy is from Hawaii and he is Japan descendant." Yeah, I think that's pretty common. Um, so then they eat spam. They eat spam and rice for breakfast. Is that what Hawaiian food is like? I don't know. I don't know. Does anyone have like a favorite like cuisine? I think I might have asked this on a different stream, but I don't think you two were here or anyone else that's lurking in the chat. You can continue to lurk if you want, but you can also answer the question if you want to. Um, um, so for example, I tend to like if I'm gonna go out to eat, what would I get versus cooking at home? I really like. What is the Hawaiian's favorite drink? Bob said. I don't know. If anyone knows, you can answer in the chat. I don't know if it's pineapple juice. That would be my guess, but I don't know. I like to eat when we go out to eat. I like Ethiopian food is really good. Obviously, Indian food is good, but I also like to cook that at home. But also, the bear fences don't say Hawaiian punch. Well, I said pineapple juice. I have water. It's probably soda, Bob. It's probably soda. If I had to guess, actually, they probably drink Pepsi or Coke. That's rum. I don't know. I don't know if they maybe their alcohol of choice might be rum. Do you mean favorite drink like favorite alcohol or favorite thing they like to drink in general? I'm voting soda on that one. But yeah, when you go out to eat, definitely like Ethiopian, falafel, Indian food, stuff like that. Like those are definitely my top three. I don't know if anyone else has uh Pepsi rum. Bob said Pepsi rum maybe. Has like a favorite cuisine they like to go out to eat. For example, I probably wouldn't be that interested in a Hawaiian restaurant, although I'm not sure what it like. Like I said, when I think of Hawaiian food, I'm like poke bowls, like rice and spam. I'm not that interested. Maybe if there was a vegan Hawaiian restaurant, I would consider it. I would be like curious, but not super interested. And of course, I'm maybe downplaying the cuisine a little bit too much, which I understand. But that's just my perception. My perception could be changed. Probably not through Pepsi rum, though. I know they have a signature drink, Mai Tai, but I think popularity made that. Yeah, that's probably, is that like a touristy type thing? I've heard of that. I've heard of a Mai Tai. That's interesting. Yeah, that's another interesting thing too about a place like Hawaii is that, you know, it's a cold it's not culture, sorry, it's like a tourist economy, of course. It's not the only thing they do, but they rely a lot on tourism and there's a lot of places like that, especially island nations are like that. And Hawaii especially is selling something to the tourists, and it's not just like a hotel and accommodations and food and a beach. They're also selling the culture of Hawaii too, like the hula dance and you know, whatever else, the skirts, the music, maybe the food. I don't know, but they're selling the culture of Hawaii as well. It's not just the destination. And what's interesting is how does that interact with what the culture actually is. So, for example, um, the Mai Tai drink, I'm not sure, like I'm not an expert on the Mai Tai drink or any of this. This is just me off the cuff, really. But a Mai Tai drink, was that something they drank before the tourist culture, or was it something they kind of invented because tourists liked it and it became a signature drink in Hawaii? Right? Or and the even the shows I've seen the hula shows before, but it was a show that was for tourists, right? It was a hula show with hula dancers wearing the traditional hula uh, dress, outfit, skirt, whatever you want to call it, but it was for tourists, right? It was a show written and produced and performed specifically for tourists. So how like what is there? You're selling me this thing that is kind of contrived in a way. It's contrived for me. So as a tourist, luau punch. Yeah, I imagine luau punch is also for tourists. But that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, luau. I'm not sure. I didn't even realize you misspelled it. Um, but the same thing when we went to Sri Lanka. We didn't go to this event, but there's like a traditional candy dance, and we kind of skipped it. Everyone wanted us to go, but it's it's for tourists, right? It was they were dressed. I saw pictures of it. We didn't go to it, but they had elephants in this dance. They have you know, these traditional outfits that people didn't wear on the street. Like people didn't wear these types of clothing on the street. So it feels contrived, right? And the beer fan says most likely same as us, depends on the meal, event, tradition, or tourist. Yeah, it does. You're right. But the difference is, I find personally, we are selling something, right? When people come to New York City, we are selling something to them. We're selling New York City to them in some way. People don't usually come to New Jersey as a tourist, but say New York City, for example, California people come as tourists too, certain parts more than others. But the difference is, I feel like New York City isn't solely a tourist economy. So when we're selling something to them, it's not like we're not going to dress in a traditional New York City dress and do a show for them. That would be weird. That would be a little weird. But they do that in this more specifically like island nations, or maybe, you know, Sri Lanka is also an island nation, countries that survive mostly on tourism. They have more of a you know, I guess, a reason, a stake, more of a stake to do this. But yeah, maybe in New York City, maybe the things that we sell is a good example. We sell to tourists as being really important parts of our culture, probably like the pizza and the bagels. And I remember, I think, the Bear fan, I think you were in the chat when we were talking about this actually. So in there are lots of bagel shops in New York City. Not only cater to tourists though, they cater to also uh, students and like hipster types, right? People who aren't really from New York City but move there for school or for work. Yuppies, right? As we call them here, young urban professionals, yuppies. So Gonzalo, my husband, who is not from New York, took me to one of them, and he loves it. He loves this place, right? But it was it was nice. It was a nice area, nice space, but it wasn't really what I would think of as a bagel shop. And the bagels weren't really bagel-y. They weren't chewy enough. If any of you have had New York City bagels or New Jersey bagels, you know that they should be chewy. They should be a little dense, actually, right? A little bit dense, especially if I think I ordered a rye bagel. They should be dense, right? And chewy, and they should have a nice crust. And it was just like bread. And I was like, I didn't order bread, I ordered a bagel. So for example, that's a good example of us like trying to sell something. Like we're in New York City, we're supposed to have bagels, so this is what we're going to have now. So it's like it becomes a loop, right? It becomes a loop of like, I think we're supposed to be like this, so we're going to be like this, but then it becomes kind of artificial because of that loop. But I think it's more pronounced in a place that is catering to tourists. That's my take. It does happen here. It does happen probably in California. Probably happens in Finland. But I think it is more pronounced in a place that is catering more to tourists. That's my hot take. Bob says interesting. Yes, we always get into hot takes with Elisa. Philosophical takes with Elisa. I don't know if any of you have any other. You can disagree or have any other input into that conversation. I'm not always right, so if you disagree or if you have another comment, let me know. I don't know, Bob, if there's anything like that in Finland. And the beer fan says, wow, just read an article on contemporary versus traditional luau's. Great read. The bear fan, if you think would be interesting to us, you can put a link in the chat. If it's a online article, you can put the link in the chat and we can look at it. But yeah, that sounds interesting. Maybe related to what I was just saying. But Bob, is there anything like that in Finland? Like, I'm sure there's Finnish culture, right? Like traditional Finnish culture. But I'm sure there's like a kind of a type of Finnish culture that you kind of sell to outsiders or even to yourselves. Like, this is what Finland is supposed to be like. Finland is supposed to be like this. And maybe you like do little ceremonies where you wear like traditional dress and everything like that. But it's really not authentic. It's just kind of for show. That might be interesting. Okay, truly Hawaiian teriyaki sauce. I like the name of this website. But yeah, I'll look at this later. This looks interesting. And it's talking about teriyaki sauce too, and marinated spam, which of course isn't native to Hawaiian, but came through various means to Hawaii. Interesting. So, like I said earlier, but I'll just repeat the updates now. So this week I won't be streaming on Saturday, but I'll be streaming on Sunday, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. We're going to be making mango bread, mango sourdough at 8 a.m. And I'll also show you some other experiments that I'm working on, so you'll get to see that as well. But the main thing we're doing is the mango bread. And follow me, like I said, on Instagram and YouTube for updates with that. I am uploading the YouTube video now although I'm pretty sure it's stuck, so I might have to do it again. The spelt flatbread that we made 2 weeks ago. It's a little late, but I decided to go ahead and get that done today when I didn't have work today. So I decided to get some other stuff done. So that'll be uploaded shortly. The blog post is uploaded though. I think I uploaded that or posted it yesterday. So the blog post for spelt sourdough flatbread is up if you are interested in making it. If you make any of the things that we make here, please let me know and let me know how it comes out. I of course want people to make it and tell me how the recipe reads and if it's easy to follow and how whatever you made came out. Of course, I want you to do that. And if you have any suggestions, let me know, especially suggestions for what we should do here. So that's the updated on that. Was there something else I wanted to tell you? I feel like there might have been, but neither here nor there. So Sunday, 8 a.m., we're doing the mango bread. And then, next week we'll go back to our normal schedule. I'm fairly certain. Yes, we will. We'll go back to our normal schedule of Wednesday and Saturday. Yeah, next week we'll do that. Does anyone have any feedback, concerns, questions, suggestions for me of what we could do? I also want to do, I might wait till we have more followers, I'm not sure. But I did want to do like a grammar thing. I know one of my other followers who's not here today mentioned that, I think he just asked me if I taught English, which I do. And he wanted to know if I have YouTube videos on English, which I don't. But I wanted to do like a grammar thing. I don't know how boring or how fun that would be for you on here. It's a good way to fill in the gaps so we don't, run out of things to talk. I mean, I love just like chatting about random things, but sometimes there's like lulls in the conversation. So it would be a great way to fill in the gaps to do like little mini grammar lessons in here. So if you are interested, give me feedback on that. And maybe in a few weeks we can start doing something like that. That might be fun. But yeah, other than that, I feel like I'm missing something, which I might be. And then I'll remember that I had to tell you something when we leave. But if you want to, see my updates, the Bear fan says, if you ever think about joining a team on Twitch, I would love to have you on ours. Oh, what kind of team? The Bear fan, thank you for inviting me. What kind of team? You probably told me in a previous chat, but I can't remember. I thought you were somebody else at first, but now I do remember who you were. Now. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So the team for your church, right? Whisper. Wait. In real life gaming. Okay, thank you. I don't know. I'll ask my sister how this works because it just popped up on my on my screen, and I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'm sorry, the bear fan. I see it says whisper. I don't know what that means. So yeah, I'll ask my sister about that. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for inviting me. Yeah, you told me about this, and I do follow you on there. So, and that's great. I know. I remember you did charity for your church on there, and that's also really commendable. Very commendable. Oh, the bear fan, you were there. You were there with my sister. Thank you. Thank you for supporting my sister. I'm sure she appreciates it. And yeah, my sister's fun. So, I mean, we're related, obviously. So we're both fun. But yeah, Bob, let me know if you have any feedback or suggestions. And if not, I'll see you all hopefully on Sunday, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. If you don't catch me, then everything gets uploaded on Twitch automatically, so you can watch it after the fact. But and if it stays on there for 7 days, so if you want to watch it after 7 days for whatever reason, I won't begrudge you for that. I'll upload it on YouTube, so you will see it. Okay, I'll click on this YouTube link. I'm sure that's the Bear Fans YouTube. Oh no, that's my YouTube. You linked my YouTube? Oh yeah, thank you to Bear Fan. I was like, why'd you link my YouTube? Oh, you linked it for Bob. Okay, thank you to Bear Fan. Yep. So it'll be on YouTube after 7 days, before the 7 days are up, so you get to watch it on there if you need to. So yeah, I'll see everyone on Sunday, and we'll be making some mango bread on Sunday. So bye everyone. Thank you for coming, and have a nice week, rest of your week. And if I don't see you on Sunday, have a nice weekend.